fellowship, share and compare notes, gain further insight and information that can be beneficial to us all, right? So in a nutshell, I'm paraphrasing, that's more or less the reason why we're here and why the committee decided to put on this particular event. Now, taking that a step forward, particular to NIA Houston, National African American Insurance Association, the Houston chapter's primary objective is to empower African Americans across the insurance industry through networking, continuing education, and other mutually beneficial opportunities within the market space. The other thing I want to pause and do before I'm remiss, because I meant to start out with that. My name is Brendan Boyd. And I'm actually the marketing and PR chair for that particular committee on the board of NIA Houston, but I also participate and involved with this particular committee too, but that is who I am. I got up and just started speaking. I'm not a public speaker, as you can tell, so forgive me. But as we move through the agenda, the thing that I want to mention to you so that we can kind of keep things flowing and maximize our time, we're going to have a period where we do an introduction. So I'm going to introduce myself again just to kind of give you guys a snapshot of how ideally it'd be best for everyone to introduce themselves. So, for example, I'm Brendan Boyd. I'm the principal agent with Tower Insurance and Financial Services. And the reason I'm here today is to connect with other agents, producers, brokers about learning more and finding out more about what you guys may be doing or may be learning from an AI and technology standpoint that is improving your business or improving your own self-efficiency as a professional. So that's why I'm here. So as we move through the room from person to person and you introduce yourselves, kind of use that as a template of sorts so that we can move along with the program. And with that being said, you want to do introductions now? Okay, so we'll flow into the introductions now. And we'll start on the far end and then just work our way around. So guest by guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Yang and I work with Edwin's Access. I'm here with Jennifer. We work alongside Jennifer as our brokerage division and I'm in the binding division where we can do commercial business. We also have personal line business, so we basically have distribution of all the carriers that we can cater a lot of different class of business for commercial, your restaurants, your small business out there, or even like complicated, hard to place oil and gas in Houston. We have a lot of those business. Jennifer will be your go-to for those type of solutions. And so, yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Yes, Jennifer Green. I'm a casualty broker with Emwins. We work together. Mary Mason will be coming. She works on a property team. So I wanted to kind of have a different variety of classes of business so you guys can kind of meet some people within the Emwins space. Emwins, you may know, is the largest wholesale broker in the nation. We had from admitted to our small business, which we call our mining business, and then up to our brokerage business. And then we have basically global in London. So within the Emwins space, there's pretty much, we can place anything and everything that you have. So we are happy to be here and would love to kind of get to know each one and see which one you get your agency's right so we can help you out.
Hi everyone, my name is Donovan Flejones. I'm located in the Katy area. Been doing insurance for at least 15 years. Have an agency, but also deal with other agents as well as a small MGA. I also have staffing that I deal with too. I deal with Emwins on a daily basis. They're real good as well. But I'm here to make more connections, see what's going on in the city, make friends, talk about the market, expand my mind as well, and just get to know new friends.
Love it.
Hello, I'm KB Boyd with KB Boyd Insurance Group, located in Galveston County. Just recently moved to Galveston County from Pearland. I've been doing this since 2016. I met Veronique and she invited me, and Charles is the reason that I'm a part of NAAI. Charles mentioned it to me and just taking me underneath his wings and just showing me around and teaching me a few things about the business and what have you. And I'm here because I want to just network and meet people and get a chance to, open my eyes to the different sides of the business.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyla, I'm from Galveston, Texas, and I just became an agent like within this last year, so I'm here just to network with
Hello, everyone. I'm Rita Telford, and after 24 years as an agency owner, I sold my agency and became a financial planner. So I'm a financial planner with Comprehensive Financial Design Group, and I help my clients and individuals, business owners, families to strategize a financial plan, which includes insurance. So I am here to connect and hopefully collaborate with each of you that we can help each other's clients.
I am Keenan Wilkerson. I might be the only person in the room that's not on the agency side. I'm actually on the carrier side, most recently with Zurich, leading our specialties, construction and renewable energy practice. And I'm also on NIA. I am on the membership board, so I wanted to come and support, because I know some of you and several of the agency partners wanted to come and support Veronique as well. I think it's great to be able to bring everybody together and kind of have these kind of forums, and it's great that NIA Houston has a platform to be able to do that. I'm here to answer or maybe give any insight from a carrier side about kind of how we do business or how we kind of relate to different brokers and things like that, and kind of what our focus point may be. Feel free to pick my brain at any time. Happy to meet all of you.
How y'all doing? My name is Charles McGade. I'm the agency owner of McGade Insurance, and I'm here because I like serving my community and helping out and answering some questions. I mean, there's so many things happening in the insurance space. We're coming out of a hard market and kind of getting into one that's softening a little bit, and there's so few of us in the industry, and by us I mean brown people that are in and around, and it's hard enough to get mentors and have people to talk to that know your same experience. I'm just here to try to lend a hand and be there for those.
All right, everybody, good afternoon. My name is Yusef Burgess. I'm the principal at Strategic Insurance Advisors. We're commercial insurance brokers serving the Houston area. Based out of Pearland, Texas. I'm here today to, one, support the Independent Agent Committee with NIA Houston. I've been a member of the NIA Houston since 2019. And I'm excited to network with people, get to know people, collaborate with people, and just overall have a good time. So, thank you.
Oh, Bernard, introduce himself. Hi everyone, my name is Veronique Connor. I'm a Senior Territory Manager with Liberty Mutual. I'm actually here because I am the chair for the Agency Development Committee. So we hosted this event today, so thank you for joining us. My job is really to work with independent agents who focus on commercial. So if you write commercial insurance, I'm here to help you grow. I appoint agents who write commercial, focus really on commercial, not personal lines, and just basically here to collaborate with everyone, see how we can help you in your particular area.
My name is Karen Morgan. I'm with Heritage Premium Assignment Company. You see some of our information in front of you there.
She gave you gifts, y'all. She gave you gifts.
I work with independent agencies, even carriers, to show how we broker out financing. We're a unique setup where we represent 5 carriers. We're about to represent 6, where we shop the rates for you instead of assuming that the idea of what rate that you get attached to any agreement is where the market is. We're trying to kind of dispel that myth to say, like, just because it's that way with one agreement doesn't mean that's based on everything. It can be assumed because of the coverage that you have, or even the premium volume where we can place that coverage. So it's my first year in NIA actually, and I really appreciate Veronique for letting me be a part of this committee, and I'm gonna hit the ground running with NIA and help you guys out, so that's why we're here. Thank you.
All right, so we put together, did everybody get because we're gonna give away 3 books. 3 books signed by the author, actually a NIA member, wrote the book How to Cooperate. So winning in your role, winning in the agency, winning in the workplace. So did everybody get a little coupon? Yes? Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna kick off. I think Charles is gonna lead us talking. We just recently, I don't know if anybody went to our luncheon, our scholarship luncheon, anyone? Okay, good. We talked a lot about AI, and so we're gonna lead off a little bit with AI. Oh.
Absolutely, more than fine. So I know, like I said, Brendan spoke a little bit about it, and it's a conversation, and I'll make sure to kind of halfway at least stand up. It's a conversation around just the future of things. There's a lot of things happening when it comes to AI, a lot of confusion. A lot of folks think that AI is just automation on steroids, and it's more than that. Just talking about what it's capable of, what it can do. So we wanted to make sure to kind of dispel as many of those myths as we can and get down to the crux of how us in this room are actually using it, how it's benefited them, to really get to the point of where it's valuable versus where we hypothesize it being valuable. So I just want to kick that up into the room. How many in here, show of hands, are at least dabbling in AI? Are we all kind of in that little place? Okay, most are dabbling. All right. Well, kick it off. How are you using it? For me, and I'll start it with that. I'm using it a lot for my website. I'm, of course, agency owner, so I have to wear all the hats. So I'm using it a lot on making my website more readable. I'm also using it to make sure that I can transcript calls and conversations instead of having to take notes. From an errors and omissions perspective, and a small agency, that's a very tight way of adding extreme value and cutting out risk in your agency by just adding a little bit of AI transcription onto a couple of calls. But what are some of y'all kind of doing and moving? I want to open it up to the crowd and kind of get some feedback and ideas.
I'll start. So I'm, as a principal, I'm also using it a lot for developing landing pages, websites. I use it to basically kind of systematize things like marketing. We're posting on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and I use Claude and a couple of other ones to kind of work through like the ideas of what I'm looking to post, and then connecting, either connecting with like Zapier or connecting with another tool to kind of streamline any type of, the ideas that we're having on the property and casualty side. So for example, we post a lot on Trade Credit, which is a tool for companies insuring their accounts receivables, right? We post on surety, and then we post on things related to trucking, right? Different.
So does it help you brainstorm?
It helps me brainstorm, but it also, like the brainstorming is a independent session, but then it helps me schedule things out. So I can, Sunday evenings, I'm working, and I schedule out exactly what we're gonna post.
It's like a full marketing manager.
Full marketing manager, exactly.
To outline that. That's, because it's so hard otherwise. I mean, small businesses, how would we be able to even do it without that? That's a $100,000 job that we're able to help do some of the pieces in-house. How about everyone else? Like any other combos are using it?
So, obviously we use it for that as well, but, lately we've been using it to create, side-by-side comparisons with our own logo and brand on it. And to me, it's been, helping closing ratios. So we can do like last year's rate or go back 2 more years. And so all we do is kind of feed the prior 2 policies and then this year's renewal. And it just does like a 3-year side by side, and ChatGPT does it all. And
So you're putting the deck pages in there?
Yeah.
Okay, and just doing a compare, okay.
Yeah, and it pulls it out and it shows them, the differences, and it gives the arrows up and down. I mean, just like if it was a real system that did it, and it's just helping closing ratios. It makes it a lot easier to talk to, especially on the independent side when you have home insurance, right? We deal with multiple carriers, so we just put the top 3 quotes in it, and then we can kind of send that one sheet and just tell us which one you might want to go with, and then I'll send you a full quote. So it just makes it a lot simpler easier, to connect with the client so that we can have a visual, because just yesterday, telling Mr. Boyd the same thing, we had a client from Pearland, and they had the TWIA, but then they had the farmers, separate. And so we found a carrier that can do that one policy. Now, it was about $1,300 higher. However, when you fed it the deck page, it can create what's not on the policy. And so you can see not offered, not offered, not offered, compared to offered, offered, offered.
Right.
So, okay, here's your two separate policies, it's about $1,300 cheaper, but then here's the, and it, to me, visualized, because they can't read a deck page, they can't probably read a quote as good as they should be able to read a quote. So having it in that one page with the color scheme, of your agency and so forth, and then, you know, the logos of the carriers and stuff like that, just makes.
Especially those exclusions, you know, because that's what
Yeah.
I miss all the time.
No, yeah, cause a lot of times people are just looking at what's the bottom price, but when there's a claim, when there's a loss, you know.
And you can give it that information, and it shows it too. But the key to it is to me, is actually showing what the other policies don't have, and it just makes the close a lot easier to say, well, look, I know you're paying this amount of money, but here, you got so much more coverages for maybe $20 more a month. Because
And
even
it's
if it
a-
was $1,300, you know.
And it's a CYA, because they can't say, I didn't know I had another option. Yes, you do, you had both options, and you chose.
You just chose this
You
one.
chose
so it was
this
cheap.
one. Right.
Another thing I do similar to that is with commercial, a lot of times I'll have the client-facing meeting with them either over the phone or face-to-face. And there's a handful of specific concerns or scenarios that are top of mind for them, that are top priority. So when I get the proposal redesign that a carrier sends me or MGA sends me, I use Claude to basically pull out those bullet points that are most important to the client or that I think the client should be most aware of. And I tell Claude to give it to me at a reading level of 5th grader. So that when I put together the email that Claude has put together for me really, and I send it to the client, it's really put it in basic layman terms that now the client understands these 4 or 5 bullet points are what I'm getting out of this policy, even though it's written in this fancy insurance jargon that they don't understand. So it's helpful from a communication standpoint, in my opinion, and it does improve the closing ratio, I find, because communication is everything from an understanding standpoint. And most business owners, unfortunately, don't want to spend a lot of time understanding their insurance, which is fine. That's my job or our job, right? But if I can communicate it in a concise fashion with a handful of bullet points in that email to speed up the understanding process and maybe it gets them to a buying decision faster, I found it helpful in that kind of way.
And that's the amazing part about the conversation around AI and like, oh, it's gonna take our jobs, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. It's like, no, like the fact that we're able to walk through and ask the right questions to get the right answers, like, hey, I want you to break out here the things that are most likely to happen in a restaurant's policy, as an example. You know, because of your experience in dealing with restaurants and the fact that that's your niche, that's something that you spend time and effort in, that, all right, hey, I have to make sure that these are the top 10 things you're gonna be worried about in the event of a claim. Because you know that statistically, these are the things to really worry about. So this policy is 20% cheaper because it doesn't have it. This one is more expensive because it does. And being able to translate risk to a level that is understandable, at the end of the day, that's what we do. We're translators of a very difficult contract conversation down to the point where there's understanding and therefore value in what's being talked about and discussed. I love that on both sides of the conversation, whether it ends up being personal lines or commercial. So that's great areas there. One more before we go to the next question. I want to kind of make sure there's anything else that folks might use AI for or how they've handled it. Anyone? So we did comparisons, of course, marketing,
But just one quick note, it sounds like it's saving a lot of time and resources as
Mhm.
well.
Yes.
And I mean, the presentation and understanding of the client is great, right? But at the end of the day, we only have so many resources. So somebody would have had to go through all of those policies in order to find those discrepancies, which, again, some of these policies are, it's like reading legal jargon, right? And again, as you're experts, but it still takes time, especially when you're comparing 2, 3, 4, however many policies. So that's saving you that time as well, and those resources that you can, use AI, so you don't have to have 3 or 4 additional people on staff to be able to do that and still be able to market face.
It's short, if I compare, prior to it, it shortened our, phone conversation by about 30 minutes, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because we independent, so we do wanna show, we shop 3 different carriers
Right.
at least, or say, hey, these are our top 3 carriers. So what happens is, you gotta open the attachment, go over this one. Okay, now let's go over this one. All right, now let's show you what this one is, just shortens it, because it's on one page.
Now, what do you remember about the one I just showed you and talked to you about for 15
Exactly,
minutes?
that's one.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like, cause I don't know about y'all, I don't get paid very well to be a highlighter, like it doesn't, being a highlighter doesn't pay well. And I mean, I remember, years ago when I first started, we're having to highlight, I mean, my desk looks like a mad scientist, we're highlighting things on the deck page. You're the one that's making the arrows go up and down, you're underlining certain things so the individual better understands. And the fact that, yes, that's a very, that's an awesome touch that I might have while in front of me, but when you take that home, my wife can't see my scribble, let alone a client. So wherever there's confusion, there's never going to be a sale. And the fact that it's making that easier, I think is huge, making it faster, making it more consistent. So that way it allows for even your smaller clients that might not be enough time and revenue for you to want to do that same level of effort, because time is money. Business owners, we have to be aware of that. The fact that we're able to give that same level of effort to some smaller clients to make sure that they're just as well protected, I think is huge. So it's great points going all the way around. Now, there was a conversation that was had, used to talk about a little bit, about channeling AI and automation together. And I was over at the AppliedNet in Vegas last year, kind of talking through, and it's so funny watching most of these vendors talk about like, oh, as soon as you put something here, well then that'll pre-populate here and here because of AI. And I was like, bro, that's automation. It's not AI, nothing was agentic about any of that. That was just an Excel copy paste program, right? And so it's completely different. So in what ways have you seen some automation and AI come together to produce something more consistent than otherwise? And I'll give you an example of something that I use. So I use EasyLinks for quoting, right? That's an AppliedNet system. And there's so many fields and data points that not every system will allow you to just directly pull out due to the fact API access is hard to come by unless you have the money for it, right? Or if you're in a place where you're trying to be careful about your personal information from the clients, you don't want there to be some easily seen connection point. You want to make sure that it's as encrypted as possible. So a way that I've kind of worked around that is I will take a baseline download for my EasyLinks that'll have all of our information for the agency, premium, policy numbers, all that good stuff. But I don't take that and I don't dump it directly into any AI. I actually had AI build out an Excel spreadsheet that'll safely and securely, because it's not connected to line, take my information and transform it into more usable info. So all in short is I'm using AI to make some of the manual processes more consistent and keeping personal data safer. Is there other ways that you're building it out? I mean, I know people are building out agents to just work autonomously, but with personal information running around. I know that gets a little hard, especially all my carrier partners all in here. We don't feed any of your stuff anywhere, please no. Right? It's a little bit of a worry. So what have y'all seen in kind of building that out? I mean, if you want to take that again, I know you're talking a little bit about Zapier and Claude before, but walk us through what you've done.
Well, I'll give you an example, like, I also use EasyLinks right now for my agency management system. And we're 99% commercial, so when we initially put in a commercial risk, what we've done is create a ZAP, if you would, because once the file is created, it uses the API to tell.
And how many of y'all know what Zapier is before we continue? I want to make sure we level set. One, okay, two, all right, cool. So real quick, Zapier is a easier way, instead of having like true direct connection coding experience API access to systems. Zapier allows for it to be built in a separate program that does a good job of keeping it secure and connected, and it's an outside platform. So just as a quick heads up, if you're looking for, again, that's Zapier or Zapier, however you want to have that conversation, and it's a good middle ground for some of your better automations that you can build out without having direct API access. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly right. I mean, the APIs can be kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Depending on what you are, whoever your vendor is, but yeah, it will allow you to create a set of information that you can move from one program to another. So we use it, we take the commercial entity, that information gets sent over to another, which is our risk management portal. We use a system called WonderWrite, which allows us to aggregate all the information about the insured over time. So initially, we only know name, address, the company, who they are, what they are, the NAICS code, SIC code, a general overview. But once we move it into WonderWrite, now we're able to pull in their VIN numbers, have a solid place where we can put property, VIN numbers, workers for work comp. We can add in pretty much vehicle information. If there's information that needs to go onto inland marine type of policy, like they've got equipment or stuff like that, that could be added in. And this is a centralized place that every year will become kind of like the starting point for the renewal. We go
So how
back.
much time does that save? Like, how does that look?
Well,
as far as- it's crazy to begin with. Like, to begin with, it's days.
Because once we put the information in, then that file gets created in WonderWrite.
Mhm.
So that's instantaneous. Now, over the time of developing the relationship with the insured, then we can add that information about who they are, what products they have, what risk, what property. And it allows us to, kind of use formalized accord forms, specific applications that a carrier is looking for. We keep all of that in a centralized place that we can send to the carrier. And they also have connectivity. They have, you can use Zapier, or you can, now some of these companies are coming up with their own MCPs, which allow you to connect and to their own database, right? So,
Alright,
And that's what I love.
yeah.
that's good.
Have you seen anyone do a good job on that with some of the other agencies? I know that you're working with agents and agencies all the time. Is there anyone that you've
I
seen?
don't get into the technical, because
Yeah.
I'm not the agency, I'm on the carrier side, but I will say for AI, I use it for a lot of things, to summarize reports and to redo my email. Let's say, for example, I want the email to sound a lot more professional. Y'all all do that, right? Raise your hand if you use it for email. But that's the most, okay, that's the most common thing. All right, yeah, so, I knew we had some newcomers.
I just wanted to do some friendly housekeeping. We don't wanna be among strangers, right? We're all friends in one capacity or another, so we had a few newcomers. So what I would like you guys to just take a moment to do, we'll start with ladies first and then end with the gentlemen, is give us your name, your position or title, and your company, and what brought you here today. Why did you come today? Yeah.
My name is Mary Mason. I'm with Amwins Property Inland Marine. I'm a senior technical assistant, And I just want to come here and engage and learn and get to know everybody and see if we can possibly do some business with my broker.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany Merchant. I am with CMI Agency. I am the CEO, founder of my agency. I am here because someone invited me, yesterday, and I've been hearing about you guys. I was like, oh, let me change my schedule around if I can see what this is about. So I wanted to come in and hopefully be a part of y'all if it all works out well for us.
Tiffany, where's your agency located?
It's off of, what is it, Horty Toll,
Okay,
kinda in Greens Point.
okay.
Uh,
Are you on commercial lines or personal lines, commercial?
So I do more commercial lines, I'm full service though, I can, definitely do anything, but I focus on commercial lines.
Okay, sounds good. Music to my ears.
Hello everyone, my name is Philip Alexander. I'm with Avila Surety. We're based in the Woodlands. My role there is business executive, business development executive. Primarily what I do is find friends. I have a hard time finding enemies actually. So I help agency owners write more surety business, and I'm also very active in my community and other organizations. I've been hovering in the background for NAIA, going to some of the monthly Zoom calls, things of that sort, and I do recognize some of the folks in the room, and I've had conversations with a few of you, including Brandon and Charles over there, and I appreciate the time today. I'm just here to soak it all in and learn.
There's a QR code on sheets of paper. I'm gonna pass this one around. So it'll take you right to the membership join section of the website. So if anybody's interested in joining, you can scan the QR code and be on your way. So just want to remind you guys of that.
Awesome. And then of course, take some time and grab something to eat too, because this is very casual. Get you some food, cookies, sandwiches, chips.
It's already been paid for.
That's what I wanted to pass, I wanted to introduce, I mean, on all of this, as far as for like networking, building community, that kind of brings us over into, the whole reason why we're here, right? Veronique, of course, Liberty Mutual, taking time. You've been a part of NAIA for years and been a pillar of what's been going on. And I want to kind of hand it over to the conversation around networking, around development, because we talked a little bit about AI, we introduced some folks. I think it's the best time to just kind of toss it up and let you maneuver on through.
Yeah, and you know what, I wanna hear from you all. For those of you who just got here, my name is Veronique Connor. I'm part of the NAIA board. I'm the chair for the Agency Development Committee that's hosting this today, along with the committee members that are all here. But I'm a senior territory manager with Liberty, so my focus is on appointing agents to write commercial business, right? So giving contracts for commercial agents and working with them to help them grow. Whether it's, small commercial, $100,000 account, a $500 account, $1 million account, whether it's inland marine farm, et cetera. So if you write commercial, if you have questions, you need anything in that space, I'm here to help you there. I have a question, and this is something I really, really want you all to answer. What's one thing that you've learned from another agent or another person that has made a big difference in your business or in your role? I'm gonna wait for y'all. Anybody, just anyone.
Well, do we have any underwriters in the room? Okay, no underwriters.
Okay.
Something that helped me. Okay, so we got one underwriter. Who's that? They're underwriters.
She does underwriting.
You're underwriting, okay?
Okay, so we got 2, 3 underwriters in the room. One of the things I learned that helped me from an underwriter is how to submit something in as clean a fashion as possible so that they get what they want and then I can get what I want, which is the quote, and then proceed to sell. Because if it's a sloppy submission for underwriting to now try to make sense of and put together to give me a rate or to give me an answer around eligibility, well, it doesn't help them, it doesn't help me, it's just counterproductive. So I learned from an underwriter that was a quasi-mentor to let's submit things in a clean fashion.
So what I've learned, until when y'all say something, is basically to collaborate with my internal partners. I think it's very, very important to work with a lot of the people. Liberty Mutual has thousands upon thousands of employees. But it's really important for me to collaborate with my underwriters, collaborate with other, territory managers in personal lines and commercial lines, so we can help build that relationship with our independent agents. It's just important for me to know what's going on in the different spaces, whether it's in construction, in energy, farm, inland marine. We have so many different units, healthcare, et cetera. If I was just, cause I've been working at home for so long, you know, you kind of feel like you're removed sometimes. And so having things like networking events like this really helps to find out what else is going on, what's going on in the market, just really paying attention, hearing from my agents and really listening. I used to really focus on getting those big accounts, like give me that $50,000 account, give me that $100,000 account, but those are a little bit more difficult to come by. And so just meeting people where they are and just finding out what are your needs. You know, do you need help with training? Do you need help with, like maybe you need a sponsorship for an upcoming event? What do you need help for? I do so many different things as a territory manager, but really trying to meet people where they are. If an agency has a new appointment and they tell me, hey, I can only write $50,000 a year with you starting out. I only have a couple of employees, but I know in a couple of years I'm gonna be writing a lot more business. Great. Now, another agency that has 10 employees, I might expect a lot more. I might need you to write a lot more, but I'm meeting you where you are. I'm gonna customize my approach and help you where you need help. That's it.
This kind of goes hand in hand with our next topic, challenges as well, but when I was on the wholesale side, before moving to the premium finance side, I realized that this industry is the only one where we can kind of sit with our competition. We're all agents here, but there's enough business to go around, and it's such a unique setup. When I go to other industries, like, you would never see the Knicks sitting with San Antonio, you know, like things like that. That would be crazy. You get all your secrets away. And so I think just because we're all agents and going after sometimes the same business, if you don't have the capacity, sometimes you go it off, or if your niche is this and you hear something else, we can always collab with each other. But with that said, there's also the other side of the coin, which is challenges. So I know it's all great. We have all these resources, all these tools, all these events that we can learn. But within the week or even last week, was there anything that you guys faced as agents that find it hard, or where the industry is going, or even on the wholesale side or the carrier side?
Yeah, we were just Donovan and Kim, we were just discussing that a little earlier, you know, riding down toward the coast. And me being from Galveston and Donovan being from Louisiana, it just, it can be difficult at times. And so just, you know, talking to people and finding carriers that are willing to write in that area, and just, you know, just listening to you know, another agency on it. You all just having discussions. I mentioned to you all earlier that, you know, Chuck is really the reason why I'm here, and I can't say that enough, because, you know, I had retired from oil and gas. I was a deputy superintendent with EP Oil Company, and I knew I wanted to maybe go into insurance. And I went and I was a State Farm agency owner, and I was right there on West Town, you know, and I'm like, well, this is okay. But, you know, training, all the treasure trove, the documents you can read up and learn everything. They're some of the best that you'll find out there. And someone said, well, you should call Chuck McDade if you think like myself. I said, yeah, I don't know who Chuck is, but I talked to him later. Actually, so something. And then that same person said that maybe 2 more times. I said, man, let me pick up this phone and call this guy up. McDade. I don't know, let me call him up. So I called him up on the phone, and we got to talking. And about 15 minutes of the conversation, it was like, this is my long lost friend that I hadn't talked to in years. And he started saying, oh man, I think you do well as an independent. And you know, and that conversation led me to become an independent back in 2021.
Awesome.
You know, and now I call Chuck on the regular, he calls me on the regular, just checking in and just sharing ideas and discussing different topics, you know. And so I think that, because when I was with State Farm, you know, you had these territory meetings, so I go into, it was scheduled, you know, monthly. So it's like 10 agents in the room, and we're discussing things that are going on in the insurance market. Well, then you come into an independent agent, I'm just out here on the island.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really doing this by myself.
Yeah.
You know, and then having someone like Chuck that you can talk to, and Chuck said, well, man, I'm a part of NIA, and hey, I'm going to this convention here in Vegas. You want to come? You know, I'm like, and I've done that all my career. I've done like traveling and all the gas. I'm good. And then after talking to Chuck a few more times, maybe let me get involved and start doing a few other things, and starting to really venture out and meet people and starting to network and really take this even more serious than what I was thinking. So.
Networking is
that-
so important, it's so
yeah,
important.
Yeah, it is.
And being coastal is a blessing. My whole 19 years has been in Brazoria County.
Okay.
And where everybody else don't wanna play, I will gladly play.
Yeah.
Cause that means I can eat all I wanna eat. And I work with wholesalers a lot and made a lot of money. I work with premium finance companies and made a lot of money over these 19 years. So don't be afraid of coastal, embrace that, cause there's money to be made. Those businesses, those residential neighborhoods, they need insurance just like everybody else. And if they gotta get it through the E&S market, then it is what it is, but their money is green.
Someone's gonna write it.
Right.
Maybe not Liberty Mutual. It
There's
might be
money,
limited, but.
there's money to be made when expertise is scarce.
So you talked about networking and meeting with Charles, which is fantastic. Charles has been a blessing to me, just being part of NIA. Everybody here, you know, we talk to each other, text each other, help each other out. What groups? Obviously NIA, if you're not a member of NIA, we would love for you to be a member of NIA. We have the chair here, co-chair of membership committee for NIA Houston. But what other groups are you a member of that's really helped you as far as networking, meeting with people, collaborating, getting ideas, sharing ideas?
Well, this is outside of insurance, but
Okay.
my attorney.
Okay.
And just, you know, having gone to HBCU and meeting other HBCU graduates who have you, and just getting phone calls all the time. You know, just all the time from attorney was, hey, so-and-so told me to call you, Frank. Hey, emails, text messages, and it just continues, it never stops.
I love
You know, and
that.
it always, and then from there, you get members of other fraternities and stories, say, hey, so-and-so told me to give you a call. Can you help me with this? And so it just, that has been just a treasure trove of opportunities for me.
Okay. Who's a member of REMS or IAH or IIAT? Anyone? Okay, which one?
IIH,
Okay, good.
as well as the NASBP,
Okay.
Maya, and, from time to time Toastmasters. Actually,
Oh,
Toastmasters will probably be one of my favorite organizations,
Okay.
because not only do they help you as a communicator, but they also help you with like leadership and being able to truly listen and study a person and communicate in their language. That way, even though you may have the perfect solution for them, if you're not able to convey to them why it's the perfect solution for them, you lost half the battle there. So being able to like understand them, where they're coming from, and put it in their own language goes a whole long way. And so Toastmasters was pivotal in helping with that.
Yeah, that's really good. I've always wanted to become a member of Toastmasters. So do you all meet like on a monthly basis or?
That's the best part. You can find a chapter, regardless of where you are in the city. They have different times. There's some that meet on the weekends, some that meet as early as like 6 a.m. at the Denny's, things of that sort. So you can go to Toastmasters. Hey, that's for somebody, right? You go to Toastmasters International and you'll see all the individual chapters and be able to join one. Plus, if you are interested in, like you were mentioning about knowing your counterparts and what they do, understanding about other industries, you'll meet a lot of professionals from other industries that you can discuss about a particular topic and get their point of view.
I love that.
Excuse me if this is a silly question, but is there not a African-American independent brokers organization of some
No.
sort? Nowhere, okay.
Well, the only thing that's similar is the Black Friday Network, like Bell. It's something similar.
What's that? What's the Black Friday
It's
Network?
similar to an aggregator, but it's a cooperative of black agency owners all across the country. A lot of them up and down the East Coast, in the Midwest. I think I'm the only one in Texas that I know that's a member.
Okay.
But,
Have y'all heard of Black Friday Network?
yeah.
No, some people
Yeah,
haven't.
so it's,
Good conversation.
yeah, it's something I can share more details about, but I don't wanna.
No, I get this, no, because the main thing is that the underlying theme is about, like you said, collaboration and things like that. And I realize that it's easier for us to collaborate with our partners because we're all on the same team within our companies. So, but from a competition standpoint, you know, I can't speak for Reddick, but I do have conversations with people from Hartford or people from AIG or whatever the case may be. You know, maybe not to the depth of what exactly I'm working on, but more kind of macro conversations about what's going on in the market and things that they're seeing and, you know, to have that network. Because unfortunately, this is a small group. Independent agents, especially African American, are or would you say, minority independent agencies, right, independent agents, right? So, you know, the world would wanna say, well, you know, you all are competition, enemy is a tough word to use, but hey, don't talk to this person because we could be going after. But to the point is that there's enough business out there for everybody. What we really have to realize is that the big agents, the other agents, they're established. If anybody is the enemy, that's them. They don't want to see this network come together, because once you start sharing resources and say, hey, I don't really do surety that much, but I know somebody that does, let me pull him in, or vice versa. Hey, you know, I'm looking to do this, I got a deal going, but now they kind of threw a wrench in and they're asking me about inland marine. I'm not really, can you just kind of walk me through that? And being able to kind of pay it forward and kind of share it through to boost everybody's network. And now you have a person or a favor to call in and say, hey, can you do this? Even to the point of meeting for lunch sometime, or even to the point of, hey, do you want to go and kind of meet this client with me? They have some other stuff going on that might help your agency. And hey, I can't write it all because of my expertise. Maybe we can split out, partner on some things. When you start to do that and you start to build those kind of networks within this community, maybe even starting here, that's how we all progress, right? And we kind of sometimes get in that mind state, and underwriters and stuff, we get into it too. Well, I can't talk to such and such because I'm writing this business and I don't want them to come after my accounts or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, we work together and we kind of tackle things, together as a unit. We can move forward, and that's how you make progress. That's how we all grow, and that's how, you establish that, and you establish a true brand for each of us.
Insurance is such a big industry, but it's a small community, right? Our jobs revolve around risk mitigation, and it leans into financial advising at some points. Because when you're trying to reduce risk or reduce, for future cost and or pain, that's where we live. And let's face it, for everyone in here, every family member, every person calls us about every insurance question. It doesn't matter what we have on our business card, it doesn't matter as much as, but as soon as there's a question about anything about insurance, okay, we're the people in our community that are answering it, right? Now, don't get me wrong, we're not everything to everyone, but if we build a big enough community, and that's what I love about the focus of this group and what we're trying to build locally, man, there's so much stuff that has to be handled in Houston that is specific to Houston and its market. Having underwriters, carriers, and deeper relationships here will help us speed up our process, because there's 10 million people in the city. There's enough for all of us to eat and we're all fine. But being able to be the person that can connect the right person, the right carrier, the right relationship to the right place, that's what keeps us here and employed, and that's what I love that Bernie's trying to kick up and start here. So nationally, to your point, not as much stuff, but what we can do locally and trying to build locally is what I absolutely love. And of course, there's IAH, there's Independent Insurance Agency of Houston. I'm a board member with them, and they tackle different problems, right? They're gonna tackle problems for the long-running established agencies, and it's a good time to rub elbows and touch bases, because like I said, there are so many people that I met here that I end up seeing on a national stage speaking, or I meet an IAH and then I see at an IAT event, an Independent Insurance Agency of Texas, and you realize, oh, if I take a little bit of time to build connections, to build trust, and to build community, wow, what we can handle if we start doing this a lot more.
Yeah.
And I love that you're kicking that up.
And one last thing is, keep your agents, keep your insurance people. You can call us too. If you have a question about coverage or something that you're not familiar with, what do we like? We're in that network too, and that's either NIA or just a part of this with Veronique. We're all in this together, trying to grow our communities.
So we have a QR code, so if you are interested in joining NIA, we have so many different events coming up. Would love for you to follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Instagram, all of the
QR code in that corner,
Yes.
and there's one over here as well.
Yes, and so if IIAH, IIAT, InsureTech, you have so many different Toastmasters, so many different groups that you can be a part of. to stay engaged and network. So we have a couple more, so we have 10 more minutes really, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah, we're gonna skip ahead, because we wanna be mindful of your time. We know you guys, set aside a certain amount of time to spend with us, so we wanna be mindful and respectful of that. So, one of the other committees that I'm, involved in within NIA is the Emerging Leaders Committee. And that committee is something that is a committee that embraces a lot of work in the Houston market, in particular to training for those emerging leaders, where they can rub shoulders with more seasoned industry veterans, as well as mentorship opportunities, whether it be mentoring the young professionals that are within the Emerging Leaders Committee, or within Houston, more broadly stated, within NIA Houston, as well as college, universities, and campuses around the Houston market as well. So those are just a tip of the iceberg in terms of the different types of civic engagement, industry engagement that we are part of within NIA Houston here in the Houston market. So those are all additional reasons to join and stay connected. Even if you hypothetically don't join today, maybe you'll join at a later date and time, but stay connected regardless is what I would preach to you guys in that respect. And again, keeping time top of mind, I'm gonna transition and pass the baton to Karen Morgan.
Well, just before we do that.
Oh, okay.
Because, Yusuf, I know you had a question as far as.
Well, I had a question just regarding, one of the things that help your agencies to continue to grow, which is marketing. And
Yeah,
so
what have you done?
I was really kind of asking the question about lead generation. We previously had several conversations, around that as we were preparing for this. So, I'm happy to kind of open it up with myself, like what are we doing for lead generation? And we have multiple, approaches that we're taking. One, cold calling, which is kind of the way that I came into this business, at Marsh, was cold calling on different, SMBs. Also using, there's one system that we're using, I wrote it down in the back here. It's actually through a company called Momentum Edge. And basically what they do is they offer you, well, there's two, Momentum Edge and then Insurance X-Date, where what they do is they offer you, opportunities to purchase the lead. And, you can kind of decide what space you want to be in, if you want to. This kind of falls into what we were talking about, relationships with carriers, like if there's a specific type of risk that a carrier likes, you have, I guess, premium requirements with them, you can kind of gear what you're looking for.
Okay. Momentum Edge?
Momentum Edge is one, and then Insurance X-Date is another one.
Okay, Insurance X-Date, for those agency owners, that should give you an idea on how to generate. So let me find out from you guys, what are you doing to generate new business? Nika, you're in investments, but you're also a producer, so you've written some business with Liberty Mutual. Thank you. Keep them coming. Don't stop. Zero. What are you doing to generate leads, to generate business, or bring in new clients? Are you doing lots of networking? Are you?
I ask for referrals.
Okay. ask for referrals.
Everybody.
Okay, all right.
I think your current book of business is your biggest resource.
All right. So generating from the ones you've already taken care of?
Mhm.
Okay.
If they love you, tell somebody about me, or,
Yeah.
and it works.
Warm calling instead of cold.
Warm calls.
Warm calling, yes. Okay. I remember when Nika got started, when she was a direct writer, I guess it was called agent. She actually pulled a bunch of us, friends, and she said, hey, you guys could come to this event, I'm gonna provide food, drinks, etc., but you have to bring me 3 warm leads, people that you've already called and told about me. And then that started, bringing her some more clients, those clients told people, and it just exploded like that. Anybody doing something to generate new business? I tell my agents all the time, cross-sell, cross-sell, cross-sell. Use your existing book. If they already have an account, they have a package, where's the work comp? Where's the, but that's from a carrier perspective. Anyone else?
On social media.
I was just about to say that social media, and with AI, you can really, really play with social media to make yourself as grand as you want to be, or as inconspicuous as you want to be. But yeah, social media is a way to get in front of, depending on how large your following is, tens of people, hundreds of people, or thousands of people, right? But that's something that is effective. It's not gonna create immediate results, but over time, if you're consistent, it does yield results, because maybe that person or that family member that couldn't really remember what you do, they follow you on social media, and then they share that with their neighbor. Hey, here's his social media page. Here he is. This is the guy I was telling you about. And then that person contacts you, because sometimes it happens just like that, where your friend or family member or the business owner that you work with that's trying to refer you to someone doesn't have your information top of mind, but they always have that cell phone with them, and they follow you on social media so they can refer you in that capacity.
So, because I work for Liberty, did you have a question, Billy?
Another question, I just had a brief comment, and it goes back to like the AI conversation, is I use AI a lot for data scraping, and so I want to be at the right events at the right times and knowing where they are, so I have scrapers that check for different industries, that way I know, okay, if I'm going to Dallas, I have these events that I can align with that, so I should make my trip this day, or,
I've never heard of that.
use
Data
it
scraping,
for,
am I the only one that have?
No, that's great. I've heard of it, but I never thought about it from the perspective of events.
yeah,
Can you break that down in layman's terms, in terms of what you mean by data scraping?
Is it a website?
So many of you will probably already have different sources of events that you go to on a regular basis, but you're probably manually checking their websites for their calendars, things of that sort. I told my AI, here's the list of organizations that I care about. I want you
What
to
was
give
that,
me a
Chat,
briefing.
Claude, Gemini?
So you can use it in ChatGPT. My preference is Claude
Okay.
for that type of thing, because I can run it at 4 a.m. in the morning when I'm not using it, and it doesn't hurt against like my data cap. And then you can have like live artifacts that easily break down where those events are. You can even teach it rankings, like this event is gonna be more important to you. So let's say you write a lot of like mixed beverage bonds, or you wanna get into like the restaurant industry, right? You wanna know about all those restaurant and hospitality style events where they're supporting those people who are in those industries and where they are.
Right.
You can have AI scrape that for you, so you're not individually doing it. You just get a briefing in the morning that says, hey, in August, the first week of August, you're gonna wanna be on the southeast side of Houston
Gotcha.
because this event, and then you can say, okay, which one of my target clients are also in that area? So then I'm able to build an entire day around not only that event, but also people that I've been looking to write business with in that same area and maximize my amount of time.
I love that, I love that.
Good, that's good.
Well, man, this has been good conversation, and we certainly wanna continue it, cause what we're gonna do, we're probably gonna have, instead of a face-to-face, we're probably gonna maybe have a webinar, Teams, Zoom call, just kind of follow up. But we wanna make sure that if you are here and you want to get a commercialized appointment, or you wanna talk to me about something like that, that's what I do. We can do so after the meeting. I'll be here for an additional 30 minutes, just kind of cleaning up. And so let me know if you are interested. I do, want agents who focus on commercial, write a lot of commercial, and can feed myself along with the other carriers. Because if you can't with a direct writer, then you can, with a direct company, you can also go through like a GA, like a RT specialty or something like that. So Karen, you wanna close us out?
Sure, and I'll plug myself too, make sure that you guys come to me if you need financing. Like I said, for those that came in late, we work with multiple carriers to shop the best rates for you. We work with a lot of wholesalers, because we only write ENS or work with those, and so, especially going off of those premiums and the policies where your client gets the best coverages instead of skipping out, just make sure that they shouldn't be scared of that premium size when they can split it up for that financing as well through us. So
And you could do a small account, you could do a large account.
I wrote a $400 account the other day. It was a church, and I said, okay, Jesus, I'll do it, but.
Or $100,000.
Or a $500,000 account, so either way. But before you guys leave, thank you guys for coming so much.
Yes.
Please get my card, my LinkedIn, make sure you get everyone's LinkedIn, let's stay connected.
Yes.
We have our NIA National Conference coming up, Emerging Leaders, you can ask Brendan about that. Please make sure you keep going through all these associations like IAH, the ION, check their calendar or put it into AI and see which events that you should go to, and then we'll stay connected. So thank you guys so much for coming, it was awesome.
Please follow us on associate.
Yes, all the things.
Any questions? Oh, and we
If you
have
need
other
it.
prizes.
Yes, prizes.
All right, so
All right,
Bradley.
so I'm Vanna White, I got you, just a little thicker.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, so what we're gonna give away, we're giving away 3 books. One of our NIA members is actually an author. His name is Stella. And he wrote a book called How to Corporate. So proven lessons for women at work. It is very, very good. Not only did he write the book, but he also autographed it for us. So we appreciate that. All right, who's ready?
Ready?
Hey, Vinny, get your stuff.
Okay, everybody have your red ticket?
All right, red ticket, grab your red ticket.
Oh, yeah, everybody wants that.
Right? All right, last 4 digits. Or last 3 digits, 105. All right, Jonathan. All right.
Hold on.
We'll get a picture. Well, no, all 3. We'll get
We'll get that.
good. 103.
103?
That's me. Come on down, you're the next one. That's it. 099.
099.
099.
All right, I put a 2 in there, but that's all right. 108.
108.
No. 109.
109.
And the winners, can you guys come up to the front? We want to get a photo out of the winners. With you as well.
And then we have a ton of food, y'all. We need y'all to do some of these sandwiches, okay?
Yes, that would be good.
Let's just have her this screen. Just monitor.
And we also have that great big
Yeah, I just missed that.
Yeah, so that's.
I may come work out in the office.
It's different. Let's see if you remember.
I was in the
They're nice. And then the areas is dry, because it's like.
Somebody phone.
Real quick, hey, let's all take a picture. There's a really good little soccer ball out there. Let's see if we can take a group picture, like all of us with the little FIFA
Do y'all
outside.
mind taking a picture outside at that FIFA soccer ball?
Oh, and don't kick it, it's a little heavier than you think. I tried. No work comp.
I love all that information. Oh my gosh. Very
Photo
neat.
outside,
Nice to meet you.
up
Yeah,
by
I
the little
love
FIFA.
that. Oh my gosh, look at y'all coordinated with the blue black. What's going on? Do y'all know each other? What's happening?
So we do
Yeah,
know each
photo
other. He's
up.
one of my, my
Pass
customers that
that
are right there.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, small world, see? Actually, the one that told me to come here. Thank you, Bill, but you're funny. Are you a member of Diane?
but no, there's just so much stuff happening. That's why everything else. Trying to,